Hi everyone, so we're going to continue with day 2 today, and I'm going to do a unique reading, which is an extra reading that is in your packet. And the reading that I'm going to do today from Unique is called The Cherry Blossoms Blooming, and it's going to look like this in your packet. So I'll give you a few seconds to find that in your packet, and you can take it out so you can follow along with us. And if you need to, you can pause the video so you can find this in your packet, and then press play again. So before we begin our little newspaper article, I'm going to go over some vocab words that we are going to hear as we read the short newspaper article. So our first vocabulary word is going to be cherry blossom. So remember, you can repeat it back as I say it. So cherry blossoms, spring, blooming, and Japan. So now let's all get our readings, and we're going to start with the title. Cherry blossoms blooming. Cherry blossoms are blooming in Washington, D.C. The cherry blossoms mean spring is coming. Cherry blossoms are pink and white flowers. They grow on cherry trees. Washington, D.C. has more than 3,000 cherry trees. So I'm just going to recap some of the important things that we read on the front page. So we're talking about cherry blossoms, which is one of our vocabulary words. And because they are blooming, which is another vocabulary word, that spring is near. And the location that we're talking about is Washington, D.C. That's where they're blooming. So we're going to turn our page to page 2, and we'll continue at the top. The trees were a gift from Japan many years ago. Washington, D.C. usually has a cherry blossom festival. Leaders canceled the festival because of the coronavirus. People can still watch for spring near them. They can look for blooming flowers. So on this page, we know that one of our vocab words, Japan, it was a gift from Japan many years ago. And Washington, D.C. usually has a festival, but because of the coronavirus this year, they were unable to hold the festival because they wanted to keep people safe and healthy. So if we go to page 3, we're going to have our 3 quick review questions. So right now you can get out either a pencil or a marker, so then that can help you circle the answer to answer the question. So question number 1 says, what is blooming in Washington, D.C.? Cornstalks, a cactus, or cherry blossoms? So you are going to circle the correct answer. Number 2, what country were the cherry trees a gift from? Japan, Germany, or Australia? So you're going to take your pencil or your marker or even a crayon, and you're going to circle the answer. Then number 3, where is the Cherry Blossom Festival usually? California, Georgia, or Washington, D.C.? And again, you're going to circle your answer. Once you're done answering the 3 questions, just like we do in class, you're going to take out either a different, you can take out a different pencil or a crayon so we can correct our answers. So you can either pause it if you still need some extra time, or we can continue right now. So number 1, what is blooming in Washington, D.C.? The correct answer is cherry blossom. So you should make sure that you circled cherry blossom. If you got the answer right, you would put a check. If you got it incorrect, you would just put an X, and then make sure that you circle cherry blossom. Number 2, what country were the cherry trees a gift from? Japan, Germany, or Australia? The correct answer is Japan. So you want to make sure that you have Japan circled. If you got that right, you would put a check. If you got it incorrect, you would put an X, and then make sure that you circle Japan. And then number 3, where is the Cherry Blossom Festival usually? California, Georgia, or Washington, D.C.? The correct answer is Washington, D.C. So make sure that that is circled. If you got that right, you would put a check mark. If you got it incorrect, you would put an X and then make sure that you circled Washington, D.C. And before we end our lesson, we're going to review our other 4 vocab words again that were on our board. So remember, our reading for the title was Cherry Blossoms Blooming. And our 4 vocab words were cherry blossom, so you want to remember to repeat them back. So cherry blossom, spring, blooming, and Japan. And I also included another video link at the end of this post. So if you go back to Google Classroom, there is an extra link, and you can check out the video link to learn more about the cherry blossoms blooming. There's some pictures there that you can look at. There's also another small newspaper article you can read and a video that you can watch about what it looks like in Washington, D.C. for the cherry blossoms blooming. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and remember to check back to Google Classroom on Monday. See you guys Monday. Have a great weekend.